What's going on, friends? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Homestead. It's been a little while, actually. Haven't posted a video in almost a month. We've been super busy and it's been a busy year here on the homestead. We've accomplished a lot. And so I thought for this final video of the year that I'd bring you up to speed with what we've been up to lately. But bigger picture than that, we go through and take a look back at this last year and look at all the things that we've done here, go over some of the accomplishments, some of the struggles, and take kind of a big picture look, because sometimes when I'm out here, I can get so focused on the trees that I forget the forest. And I don't know if life can be like that for you, but sometimes I'm guilty of losing track of the bigger picture and getting too caught up on the small stuff. So I figured this could be kind of a fun way to just look back at this last year, press rewind, go over some of the accomplishments, highlight a few of the struggles, and have a look holistically at this past year. So stay tuned. But before we get started, I want to say a big thank you to the channel members. Huge shout out to all of you guys and girls. Been posting on there a lot more regularly, even in this little drought of content here on the main channel. I have been posting members only videos. So if you want more content, if you're curious what we're getting up to, then join the channel and become a member. So shout out to the channel members. We got a furry woolly mammoth, Wilson, back there, who literally has a mullet. We shaved him a mullet. Mullets are, I guess, coming back into fashion. Down here in New Zealand, they never went out of fashion. When the mullet went out of fashion in the rest of the world and beyond Joe Dirt, it came down here to New Zealand and it survived and thrived and continues to do so today. So before the little hipster mullets became a thing in the last like 6 months, the mullets have been alive and well down here in New Zealand, and Wilson has been leading the way with our sheep with a pretty wicked mullet, if I do say so myself. So I came up with a little list just starting in January. My wife, Carrie, was pretty much 8, almost 9 months pregnant, and we were in full kind of nesting mode. It required a lot of little things to get taken care of, including transforming a guest room, the guest room in our house, into our daughter's room, a nursery, painting, paneling, and lots of hanging things on the wall, setting stuff up, setting up furniture. That was kind of the first part of the year. We had some friends visit in January from the States, and we traveled around a little bit with them, but then it was like full nest mode. Worked a lot on getting the sleep out finished. That's kind of been like this big project over the last few years, a little bit at a time, starting in the inside, then starting on the outside and weatherproofing it all, then going inside and renovating the inside, getting it into this guest house, and then building a new deck and covering the deck. And that was kind of a project that has been going in the background a little bit at a time, but I'm happy to say that that is now completely finished, and that feels fantastic. So one of the main W's for this year was becoming parents. Obviously shifted life priorities. That was a major win. Then obviously in February, my wife gave birth to our first child, our daughter, Eliana, and that was incredible to witness and to be there for my wife as she gave birth to our child. Such a monumental life moment and a transformational one. I don't know, sometimes it might sound cliche. Becoming a parent was truly a life-changing moment, and we feel so blessed to have our daughter Eliana in our lives and to be able to be her parents. And it's made me a more selfless person, a less selfish person. Not to say that I was selfish beforehand, but when you don't have kids, you're able to focus more on yourself and your goals, your desires, your wishes. And even if you're in a relationship, you still have a lot of time to dedicate to yourself and self-improvement or self-gratification. And that changes and has changed, while at times challenging, is really rewarding. Right before Eliana was born though, my neighbors, they were pulling out some forestry here and had a lot of offcuts. So they dumped a large heavy duty truck load of firewood, which I ringed, split, and stacked pretty much 2 seasons worth of wood, because on the other side of this building is another covered area that's totally full of firewood for this season. That was a lot of work. I don't know, I think that living in the country has changed me in ways I didn't expect and in ways that I think are really beneficial for me and for my family. It's made me a better person. It's challenged me in so many different ways. The renovation of this property, the skills required to do it that I didn't have before, that I didn't know I was capable of, the renovation of the homestead and this land, and learning all the skills necessary to do it has been a totally fundamentally life-changing event. For those of you who found this channel through my travel content, or if you followed before over on the Vagabrothers channel, then you've seen some changes for sure in me. I personally feel happier, more competent, more confident, and more fulfilled than I have in all those years of vagabond nomadic travel. There's been something really, really fulfilling of like putting down roots, creating a connection with the land, with a piece of land, and trying to make it better. Trees, the orchard, the garden, the sheep, the chickens, the buildings, the home. Here in New Zealand, there's a thing called kaitiaki, which is a Maori word, and it means guardianship. And they use it to talk about taking care of the land, the sky, the water, the earth. I feel a sense of guardianship over this place that has challenged me in so many ways, but also has left me feeling stronger and more capable. And I think in life, especially now in this like digital age where so many of us are living in big cities, we're living less connected to the earth and nature than ever before. It feels like such a gift to be able to be here, to spend time here on this land, to learn these skills, to challenge myself in these ways. It's totally different, but it's so fulfilling. So I'm just gonna go down the list really quick and just go through the things that I wrote down here about stuff I accomplished this year. We transformed the guest room into Eliana's nursery. I ringed, split, stacked 2 seasons of firewood. My wife grew a human and we became parents. We finished a sleep out renovation. We tended a garden and an orchard and harvested and canned fruit and vegetables throughout the year. I harvested wild game with a bow and a rifle and fed my family. The Roof Chronicles, basically taking care of the roof on the garage, painting it to match the roof on the sleep out, and then the roof on the main house, removing every single nail, replacing it with a roofing screw, filling in any gaps with silicone to prevent any drips or leaks, and then painting the roof, which has been a saga, honestly. It's been a giant job. We had somebody come out and they quoted us 20 grand to do all the work necessary for the main roof. And by doing it myself, slowly but surely, I've saved our family $20,000. So I'm pretty stoked about that. And also I've learned a lot of important skills along the way. I also learned to operate a digger. So both of those are new skills. We child-proof our house, painted and child-protected the fireplace. I repaired all of our boundary fences, so learning how to fix fences, which is a very important skill when you have land and you have animals. That requires fencing, and you need to learn how to fix it. We bought more chickens, which has been great, but in order to do that, I needed to expand the chicken coop. So that was a little job, but I managed to salvage equipment and timber from around the property and repurpose it to build out the rest of the chicken enclosure and make more space for new chickens who provide us with fresh eggs, fresh organic free-range eggs every day. Paid my mortgage every month, kept my family fed, clothed, and housed. That's, you know, a small but very important thing, and sometimes it's worth just speaking that out into the world and celebrating it a little bit. So for those of you out there who've done the same this year, feel proud. It's the kind of quiet, silent, day-to-day work that is maybe sometimes taken for granted, but it's a big win, especially in this modern world where things have gotten way more expensive. The whole world is experiencing inflation, wage stagnation, and it's getting harder and harder to like even just go grocery shopping. So if you've taken care of your family, if you've provided, if you've helped provide, if you've, kept your family with a roof over their head and food in their bellies, then, give yourself a pat on the back. Sometimes it's worth just taking a moment at the end of the year to be grateful for what you have and to see yourself, I think that a lot of times we can get so caught up in life and so myopic, like so focused, that we can easily overlook how many things that we do to take care of ourselves, our loved ones, our partners, our families, our children. And so while there are things that maybe I would have liked to have done this year, but didn't really get around to doing, that's okay. Living here and learning to take care of child, a piece of land, a house, all of these things require daily attention. And, not to mention continuing running a business and staying creatively inspired and sharing content and trying to keep everything entertaining and fun and educational. It takes time, it takes energy. And so coming into this new year, I'm looking forward to spending as much time as I can with my baby girl and my wife, and also taking some time strategically to go to new places and explore new places and capture that type of content that I built this brand and my career off of, because I do truly enjoy traveling and storytelling. But at the same time, I've really been enjoying living a more grounded life. How do I say this? I feel there's a little dichotomy happening in me, and this year has kind of been pulling from one direction. I want to find in 2025 a better balance between taking time specifically to go and create new content that inspires me creatively, but also to continue to live life in the real world, not like in the digital world. In the beginning of social media, the promise of it was that it would make life more connected and make us, happier. And I think that what we're starting to find 10 plus years down the road, 15 years down the road, let's say, is that that's not really the case. Too much social media is not a good thing. Too much living in your phone is not a good thing. Life is short, and the more you can live it in the real world, experiencing real things instead of the digital world and digital things, better I feel. I don't know if that's the same for you, and please feel free to tell me in the comments if you feel the same or if you feel differently. But I really enjoy living life in the real world, and I'm feeling less of a need to constantly be plugged in. Finding a balance between sharing with all of you out there and creating and keeping that creative flame alive and burning strongly. And I find I do that by living out there more. So I think that, in 2025, we already are lining up some fun international trips to create content and to explore new places that we've never been before. And that is exciting. And I look forward to sharing those videos and series with you here on the channel. And at the same time, we're going to continue to live this lifestyle that we're building here, to tune in to that and have a healthy balance between consistently creating content for all of you that is inspiring for me to create, and living my life with my family as much as I can in the real world too. And I hope that kind of puts into perspective where we'll be going on this channel in 2025. I'm definitely excited to continue to create guides for you to distill the knowledge and the experiences that I've had in countries around the world into practical, useful videos, itineraries, and travel guides for you. I want to also continue to work and build out my course. I have that all scripted out. Now I just need to film it and edit it, and hopefully in the next couple of months I will have a course for you available for purchase through my website, where I share all the knowledge and experiences that helped me build 2 successful YouTube channels, one to 1 million and this one to over 100,000. And so I'm going to distill all of that knowledge into a crash course, masterclass, if you will, which will be available for purchase on my website. The last thing that I wanted to bring up, and this is just one more quick question at the end. This time next year, I'd like to host a small group trip here in New Zealand. I'm looking into the logistics of figuring out how to do this, but I want to host 15 to 20 of you on a 10-day trip here in New Zealand, where we go to all of my favorite places on the North and the South Island, and we do it together. So if that's something that you'd be interested in, then let me know in the comment section and we can make it happen. With that, I want to say once again, thank you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for spending time with me this year. Thank you for supporting. If you've purchased any of my travel itineraries, I want to directly thank you. Thank you so much. If you have joined and become a channel member, thank you even more. But yeah, even if you just tuned in from time to time, I really appreciate it. It counts. It counts towards making this continue to happen and helping us manifest our dreams in the real world. So with that, I'm probably gonna split some wood and get back to work, but I wish you all a Merry Christmas if you celebrate. I wish you all happy holidays, and I look forward to catching up and continuing to create with you in 2025. Peace.